The mice that we will be talking about today, they all meet the ISTES standards 3C and 1C. The first mouse that we researched was the R.J. Cooper and Associates mouse button box, and here's a picture of that one. This mouse has multiple buttons that you can push, as you can see, and they're different colors, so it's very easy for students to identify the different buttons. There also is like a cursor that you can move around to kind of like a normal mouse, but it's a little bit bigger and it's kind of easier for students who have those fine motor struggles. And the buttons also you obviously can push. That way it's easier for students to move something around the screen. This mouse attaches straight to a computer using a USB port, just like a normal USB that you normally would use for lots of things, like a phone charger or anything like that. The second one that we are going to talk about is the Critique SmartCat Pro AG mouse touchpad. This one also attaches the same way through a USB, just like anything else. And here's a picture of that one. As you can see, it's got kind of like a little screen, and that's where you move your finger around to kind of move the cursor on the computer. Again, it's really easy to maneuver and operate using the USB cord.
The next mouse we're going to introduce is the AbleNet Big Track 2. This is a mouse with a large yellow ball in the middle, which that is what moves the cursor, and it just makes it easier for students with fine motor disabilities to move it around since it is so big. This mouse also attaches to the computer through a USB port, just like the other three that we have done. On the top of the mouse there is there's a blue button and then a yellow button, and that difference is between the right click and the left click. So here's a picture of that. And then the last mouse we will be introducing is the Penny and Giles joystick. And this can be installed anywhere from a table to a wheelchair, but the mouse must be installed by a company. It is not just an installation that you can do yourself, but it is a very nice mouse because it can be installed specifically to a wheelchair. And here's a picture of it installed to a wheelchair, making it very accessible and easy for all students to access. All these devices allow students to be able to better control their computers and participate in any online learning. It doesn't single any student out with not allowing them to participate just because of not being able to control a certain mouse. There's plenty of opportunities for them to choose what mouse works best for them. This is really good for students with autism because it can meet sensory needs, especially the Big Track 2. With the large yellow ball in the middle, it can be a really good sensory fill for students with autism. Any students that struggle with fine motor skills can use these mice more easily just because they have different options to move the cursor than just dragging the mouse itself. It can also help students get around more easily. This is specific to the joystick since it can be attached to the wheelchair, and it provides more access for all students.
These devices help a range of disabilities. Some of these disabilities include cerebral palsy, physical disabilities, fine motor skill struggles within those disabilities, spinal cord injuries, neurological disabilities, spina bifida, autism, as Megan had discussed before, scoliosis, and traumatic brain injury. All these devices help people who have these disabilities in all different ways. Not one is the same for all.